Hey guys, welcome back to the channel with more of The Dragon Prince. This is Season 3, Episode 1. We've been waiting so long for this show to come back, and I'm very excited to get back into the series, but there is something that needs addressing before we start this reaction, and I really hope you will all listen because it's very important to the Dragon Prince community. So Aaron is the co-creator of the show, and was the head writer over on Avatar: The Last Airbender. And yeah, recently he's been accused of misogynistic and anti-LGBTQ behavior in the workplace, both at his previous place of employment, Riot Games, where he was creative director, and at Wonderstorm, the company that produces the show The Dragon Prince. And I'll start by saying that this is not meant to pile on to Aaron at all. I don't want him to be punished or to be stepped on or to be crushed or canceled or whatever. I'm definitely not saying I'm advocating for the cancellation of the show. I love this show, as I'm sure you guys do, which is why you're watching this reaction video. And yeah, like, cancellation doesn't work anyway. Very few people, if any, are asking for that. The women themselves do not want that. And cancel culture just doesn't work anyway. Like, all these men who have been canceled are still able to live very full lives. Many of them are guilty of much worse. They just take a break, get back to work with very little repercussions. And so what I want and what people want is for Aaron to just simply make some changes, to take a good hard look at himself and the company and make it a place where women can feel safe working. Also people of LGBTQ, the community. Because like Wonderstorm employed 4 women at the start of this series, and that has gone down to just 1, because they simply don't feel safe and respected there. So I won't get too much into the details, just a quick overview. So one woman was a contractor, and Aaron promised her a permanent job at Riot Games and then fired her within the next few days. So, I mean, that's just a really bad thing to do because they're left out on, possibly without a job, without an income. They could possibly have to live out on the street. It's a bad situation. And there was also an instance where he queer-baited a fan with the Dragon Prince. He's like, keep watching, Claudia might be bisexual, to try to lure her in, even though people on his creative team said that Aaron only ever wrote her as straight, which is just not a great thing to do either. And, I mean, I see a lot of people rushing to Aaron's defense, probably because he helped create something that we all love so much, with Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Dragon Prince. But that doesn't track for me too, because some of these women worked on The Dragon Prince as well, and they had a role in creating this series that we love as well. And it's hard to believe that there's not some concentrated effort on some people's part to discredit women, because it's actually possible to support both the women and Aaron. Like, to the women, we believe you, we are sorry you had to go through this mistreatment. And to Aaron, we know and hope that you can do better, and we support you in going down that road. So it's just because you take the side of the women and you show them compassion doesn't mean you have to hate Aaron and abandon the work of his that you love. Honestly, if you avoid every single work of art out there created by horrible people, people much worse than Aaron, you'd have to abandon so many things close to your heart. I won't bring any up because I don't want to ruin anything else for you guys. But yeah, just because someone created something you love doesn't make them infallible. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. But it's important to own up to them and try to be better. That's what Aang did, what Katara, Sokka, Toph did. And heck, Zuko. Freaking Zuko. He was a head writer of Zuko. I won't spoil anything for people who haven't seen Avatar, but I mean, that's why a lot of people are very upset and frustrated with Aaron's statement regarding all this. He said the allegations were unfounded, but then the very next sentence he says the allegations were exaggerated. So unfounded in this context means it didn't happen. Exaggerated means something happened, but it wasn't this big a deal. So it feels a little contradictory. But yeah, he never apologized to these women, making them feel horrible and mistreated. So we're just hoping that he changes, because he then goes on to pat himself on the back for empowering women and members of the LGBTQ community. And then saying that the Dragon Prince has drawn so many people together, which, while true, has nothing to do with the mistreatment of women. And yeah, he's just kind of using the community as a shield, which is disappointing. Of course, I mean, I will continue watching. Like I said, the women worked on this too, and A lot of good people, I'm sure, worked on this too. But I do have hopes that Aaron makes some changes and chooses to create a more welcoming workplace environment. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of toxic stuff out there right now surrounding this. I've seen some really bad arguments online. Like, if they hated working there so much, why didn't they quit sooner? Which, with that question, is just dripping with privilege. Like, most people don't have the freedom to quit in this country without going broke or going into debt. Like, the economy as a whole is doing well, but everyday people are suffering. And for many of them, like, the creative field is a dream. Like, people will try to put up with a lot when they're chasing their dream. And then, or to work with someone who has created something so many people revere, like Avatar. And then there's he can't be anti-LGBTQ. His sister is part of the LGBTQ community. Which, by that logic, no man can be sexist because they have a mother. Like, a personal relationship with someone from a community doesn't mean that you can't treat that community poorly. Now, I do not believe that Aaron has any ill will towards that community, or any community, honestly. But when members of that community who worked with him say he ignored them when they made suggestions about writing LGBTQ characters like Anya's parents, it's pretty telling. And then there's this argument that there's no real proof. Like, these people think it's more likely that all these women are lying and subjecting themselves to, like, abuse on social media and death threats. They think it's more likely that they're lying than that one man is being a little sexist. And, like, their firsthand accounts of what happened are proof, honestly. And for some of them, like, for some of these people, I don't think real proof even matters. Like, even if there was proof, they wouldn't care. They just move the goalpost even further. Because honestly, we have a president who bragged about sexually assaulting women, and 63 million people still voted for him. They still support him. So, yeah. I'm getting really deep into this, so I'm going to stop right there. But, yeah, just... Most people think, like... Some people think, like, oh, even if this is all true, it just makes him an a-hole. Like, he didn't do anything legal. Lots of bosses are a-holes. Which, you know what, is actually correct. Like, that's actually what we're talking about here. The thing is, we're not talking about legality. We're talking about treating people with dignity. We're talking about wanting better working conditions for women. We're talking about, is it necessary to demean and gaslight women to create art? And no, it's not. And it happens too often. So, yeah, won't go on and on about this forever because I could. So I'll end with this. The Dragon Prince has been a wonderful fan community, and so I'm asking you guys to be wonderful again and to show compassion to the women who have been mistreated. So I have included links in the description below to the Twitter handles of the women. Danica and Lulu worked at Wonderstorm. Deandra worked at Riot. So let them know that they've been heard and that we, as the Dragon Prince community, support them. And if you want to find Aaron on Twitter too, I won't include his link, but let him know that we hope he can make some changes at his company for the better so that people don't have to go through this thing again, this situation of being mistreated. Because in the end, like, we love this show, we love his show, and I know we all would enjoy the show more if we knew it was made without the mistreatment of women. Yeah, I almost want to disable comments on this video, but I'm sure there will be a lot to talk about in the first episode, so I won't. But fair warning, misogynistic comments will be deleted, and if it's really, really bad, I will ban people from commenting in the future. So yeah, just try to keep, if it's not messages of support, let's focus the comments on the actual episode. So yeah, now that I've addressed that, we can get on to the episode. And yeah, it's been a long time since the second season. There was a much bigger gap between the second season and the first, this second and third season than there was between the first and second season. So yeah, we've been waiting anxiously for this. And yeah, last time we left off, Viren was sending out a bunch of shadows to attack the human leaders, to unite the human leaders. I don't know how... It definitely seems like this place is headed for war, given the trailer that I saw. At the end of last season, though, Callum and Rayla were headed across to Zadia with Zim, and they came across Sol Regem, which... I don't know how that's going to work out. It seems like they were very scared. Meanwhile, Callum has also learned magic, sky magic, which is super cool. Curious to see if he'll learn anything else, and if it means that humanity as a whole can learn magic, or if it's just him, or Yeah, it's probably humanity as a whole. We'll see. Also, very interested in what happens with Claudia and Soren. I feel like Soren is still in need of some redemption, and I don't know what Claudia is going to do with her dark magic and how that's going to continue to affect her. And yeah, hoping. I mean, I know this is going to be a great season, so I'm looking forward to it. And also looking forward to seeing how Ezrin will be as king if he meets any resistance from Viren, though Viren has been captured. And Arvos is still with him with that bug in his ear. So it'll be very interesting to see how that all ties together. Anyway, guys, excited to continue with this show. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, we're going to get started. Aww, I missed this. Ba-boom. Did he blind Sol Regem?
I smell death.
You just expect humans to go back to the way things were before we had magic. When humans starved and struggled. Back to a time when we were lesser beings.
You are lesser beings.
Oh,
You
damn.
are arrogant.
Who gave you the stuff?
Arvos.
You promised my safety if I came here.
Far, far away from the city of Alarium.
You can't
What?
resist an entire city.
Give up dark magic, or I will reduce it to ash.
Well, this changes things. What the heck? So he died in that moment. And that's Viren's staff, right? Man, that changes a lot.
Sol Regem, the Sun King. He was the king of the dragons a long time ago. But he was blinded when the wars began, and he's become a symbol of rage and bitterness.
Okay,
Oh,
so
jeez.
enormous. What do we do?
Sneak?
We can't fight him, seeing as you've just got your cute blow spell and my swords aren't fit to be his toothpicks.
Blow spell.
We'll have to sneak past him.
Nice.
The secret of stealth is that you don't have to be invisible. You just have to be invisible to your enemy's senses. If it gets to his sense of touch, we're in big trouble. And sense of taste? Nice knowing ya.
If the elves mount an attack, we simply don't have the numbers to hold this fortress. When the elves mount an attack,
When?
Come on, Callum. Try to keep him quiet.
I know it's
Poor Zim. It's not gonna be that easy, is it? Oof. This is like the basilisk in what was it, Chamber of Secrets? Zim. Oh my god. Oh no. Time to run. Time to run.
what now?
Gren. Aww. He grew some fuzz.
Lord Viren has been arrested for treason.
Not surprised.
Our only choice is to destroy it.
What? talking.
Looks like it's down to my least favorite course of action.
Water?
Reason.
Reason. Oh god. He can't see you bowing.
What are you doing?
I am bowing, great dragon.
No. Why are you here?
The dragon prince lives, and he's very cute, isn't he?
He's very
Good
cute.
boy.
I will allow you and the dragonling to pass back into Zadia, but not the filthy human who cowers nearby.
Rayla, getting Zim to Zadia is all that matters. Just tell the Dragon Queen I helped. A little. I'll go back home.
You all die. Or just the wretched, evil human die.
Jeez.
The only reason the Dragon Prince is alive is because of this human. He left his home and his family to save the egg without knowing me or anything about me. He saw past human hatred and did what he knew was right. He's smart and kind and brave, and he's my friend.
Aww.
My
A friend.
best friend.
Aww.
I smell death!
What?
Oh,
No,
'cause he
Callum
used-
is different.
I smell the reek of dark magic on you.
Damn. God. It's true, he used dark magic.
We can't hide from his senses, but maybe we can trick them. We can only truly know the appearance itself.
Now you're sounding like Jane.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
That wasn't a compliment.
Smell-triloquism.
Smell triloquism.
Ventsmelliquism.
That's not the
It's a
issue.
stupid idea. Give me your scarf. If I wear it, I'll smell like you, and I'll draw as fire.
This should do the trick.
Ugh.
Oh,
Right?
Ugh.
here goes nothing.
Aww. Yeah. Oh god. Oh god.
Pull!
What? Ah.
I'll do it myself. But Amaya, you won't survive.
No.
She said the rest of us will.
Foolish human!
Oh. That was way too close. Oh. Oh. The conclusion to this battle. Oh. Maya. Aw, man. Use your smell triloquism.
Throw it. He wants me to throw up on the dragon?
No, not throw up on the dragon.
Oh, throw it.
Aspero!
Smell triloquism. Whoa. He's like able to change the direction. Oh,
That was amazing!
go.
Too close, but amazing.
Thanks for letting me borrow this. I think it's good luck.
It's Christmas colors. Run, Zim. Oh my god. He's
patient. You have put things in motion.
Corvus? Where's it Soren and Claudia? Corvus and Ezrin?
What is the meaning of
He's still writing the banter.
King Ezrin?
King Ezrin. He's a kid. He's such a small kid. Maya's being taken. That scarf looks really good on her. I gotta admit. Okay, first off, how cute are Rayla and Callum? My gosh, like freaking adorable. My heart just can't take it. They love each other so much, but just don't realize it yet. Before I continue, I will be 1 week ahead over on Patreon. I'll probably air episode 2 on YouTube in a couple days from now. I don't want to do it on Friday because it's pretty crowded. I got movies and whatever, The Mandalorian going on. So it'll air in the next few days, but then when it airs on YouTube, episode 3 will be up on Patreon as well. Episode 2 will probably be on Patreon tomorrow. Got to do The Mandalorian today as well. Anyway, back to the start of the episode. This additional context with the leader of the first Dark Mages and Sol Regem changes a lot about how I see dark magic. Like Sol Regem's disdain for and hatred for humans. I mean, he sees humans as lesser beings. I mean, that's screwed up. I can understand the use of dark magic in that situation. Like, it's very hard to say that any tools used by the oppressed are too much. Of course, there might be an alternative if Callum isn't the only human who can use non-dark magic. So let's hope for that. But yeah, if they continue with dark magic, even though there's another path forward, then we might have to revisit this. But for now, I understand the use of dark magic. But yeah, the original Dark Mage said he got the staff as a gift. I have to imagine it was from Aravos, right? And maybe that's why he's trapped in the mirror world. I actually don't know how long he's been there. Have we gotten a sense of how long? Anyway, but frickin' Sol Regem, like, he promised the mage safety, but threatens to burn the entire city to the ground if he doesn't give up dark magic. Screw him. Jeez, man. But yeah, I think Rayla said it best, that he's like become this embodiment of rage and bitterness. And they're trying to avoid him at first. Callum picks up some lessons from Lou Jane. And yeah, his words are, his sense about how, like, his idea about avoiding his senses are actually pretty interesting. I assume Callum will unlock more arcanums in the future, and like, it shows that he's got a natural feel for a lot of this. Poor Zim was so afraid, kept squirming, and eventually is what tips Sol Regem off that they're there, unfortunately. But it's understandable. Amaya's story was really fascinating to watch too. Reuniting her with Gren was great. Yay! Like, she went up and like hugged him so hard. Love seeing them together. More of that, because we haven't for a while. But then they're immediately like split apart again because, yeah, they didn't want to give up the fortress, so they decided to blow it up. Janai comes in and cuts through the line, and after a brief fight between the two, Amaya is able to get her sword and just Janai activates her power, but Amaya throws the sword at the explosive barrels, and I'm glad Amaya saved Janai. Like, I honestly didn't expect that she would. I guess it was two things. First, they're blocked off from the human kingdoms, so she didn't see Janai as that big of a threat anymore to everybody else. And I guess since they're like, it's a sign of mercy towards the elves, which I didn't expect because, yeah, as a race, humans see elves as monsters. Her interaction with Rayla not last season, 2 seasons ago, was pretty telling. So I'm curious how her story will play out now as a prisoner. Like, the elves will need to communicate through sign language with her, possibly, or like she would have to sign. She can only sign to them, whereas she can lip read their words. But maybe that communication will serve as a moment where they're kind of softer towards each other. Maybe an elf will need to sign as well, or learn sign language and learn to read sign language. And the elves, maybe there's even a deaf elf who can translate, and yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. It feels like it's going to be a moment where she gets to understand elf culture more and maybe see that they're not as opposed as they should be, or not as opposed as they are, rather. Frickin' Sol Regem, though, like, Callum even gives up the idea of accompanying Zim and Rayla, but no, Sol Regem wants to kill them all, or kill him at the very least, no matter how much he helped. And I think Rayla was almost about to convince him, but like Sol Regem smelled the remnants of dark magic on him. He says he smells death, just like with the first dark mage. Which, damn, like, there was no convincing him after that, even if Callum used dark magic to save Rayla and to save the other dragon. Like, Sol Regem only sees things in black and white. Sorry, that's poor wording. He thinks things are... He's guilty of black and white thinking, and there are no moral gray areas for him. And, yeah, they have to escape again. Callum, I think he doesn't think of Rayla romantically, at least not consciously yet. Otherwise, like, wiping his scarf on his armpit before giving it to her to drape around her neck, that's... I think the feelings are bubbling under the surface. The friendship is the most important thing. I don't think they have... I think we get there later rather than sooner. But, yeah, there are some tender moments in this episode. Rayla talking about how much Callum means to her and how he's her best friend. Later on, when she wears the scarf, he, like, adjusts it for her, and they realize how intimate it is, and they like act a little shy right before Sol Regem interrupts them. But yeah, they're able to get away because of smell-triloquism. That was really fun. And yeah, they're on to Zadia proper now, so we'll see more of that next episode, I'm sure. We didn't see Soren and Claudia at all, but yeah, at the end of the episode, Opeli is talking about killing Viren so he's no longer a threat because she thinks there's no way they can contain him. But then in walks Ezrin, or in rides Ezrin on the Banther, along with Corvus. And I'm sure Ezrin won't give the okay to kill Viren, especially since he's Claudia and Soren's father. So Viren will continue to pose a threat for a while. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, Ezrin was on his way back home to Catalis before Claudia and Soren, but not too much ahead, so they'll catch up soon. We'll see how that works out and how they react to their father being imprisoned for being a traitor. It's a good thing they're not coming home to Opeli having killed him. That would have been real bad. But yeah, I'm glad we'll see Ezrin on the throne. I'm really curious what kind of leader he'll be. I mean, we know what kind of person he is, but I'm just so curious, like, how he'll lead as a very young kid, with his... I mean, Viren thinks he's naive and weak. He thinks both the sons are naive and weak, so we'll see how this all works out. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the reaction. Hopefully the first 10 minutes of this video didn't drive you off. And yeah, check out Patreon in the link in the description below if you want to see the full reaction, or you want to do early reactions. I'll have the next episode again up by tomorrow. And yeah, visit the Twitter accounts of the three women. Let them know that you sympathize with them. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.